in a very similar spot of the checkout process and conversion rate optimization, but we're coming at it from a different angle. Rich, I've just promoted you to panelist. Without giving too much away, I think when people think about shipping insurance, they don't think conversion rate optimization. How can it be that one thing increases the other? These two components don't seem tied together, but you've proven with data that they really can work together.
Yeah, it's really true. It's somewhat counterintuitive, but it's really it's a function of looking at the customer journey in a more holistic fashion. And I think, as e-commerce has changed, as there's been, some pretty considerable disruption from innovative D2C brands, as well as, the big behemoth that is Amazon, standards have been set, and it's been proven both in terms of the solution that we offer and what other vendors are doing, that it really has an impact on conversion, on retention, on customer lifetime value.
And it reduces customer service inquiries, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's right. We have the luxury of providing a service that is, in essence, free to merchants and actually makes merchants money. And not only does it make them money, but it reduces costs elsewhere in the system.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "What's going on here?" So I'll let you take it away. But one thing I can say to everyone: we've had a lot of great tool providers on the show today. The one tool that's pretty much going to be a universal win for everybody, and like Rich said, it's free, is going to be Route. This is the one you want to take seriously and look at and really consider installing. Everything else has a stage in your business where it's going to be a good fit for you, or more valuable, or maybe you're already doing it. This one is like, if you haven't installed this tool, you're going to really want to do this. And Rich is going to prove that by the end of this 30-minute segment, but is also going to show you standalone value. You don't just have to use the tool around kind of customer mentality, lifetime value, and shipping insurance in general. So Rich, I'll let you take it away.
All right. I appreciate it, Derrick. You've been such a great ambassador for what we're trying to do. And I've learned a lot today, and I'm excited to be part of the conversation. So I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Looks good.
All right. So I've got kind of 5 simple keys to optimizing what I'm calling the new customer journey. And when I say the new customer journey, really what I'm talking about is the entire extent of the customer journey, inclusive of what happens after a customer submits an order. And so just taking a step back, I think it's important to understand, this, what is really kind of a universal and simple framework for understanding the customer journey. I think about all those activities that happen before your customer buys something from your store. And we can kind of bundle all of those into pre-purchase activities. So that's everything from raising awareness, upper funnel advertising, mid and lower funnel advertising, your search buys, your social buys, anything that you're doing to try to raise awareness or interest in your brand and your products, and eventually bring them to your store. And then there's this second phase of the journey, which is all the stuff that happens once you've captured your attention and you're looking to convert them. And I would call that purchase or point of purchase phase of the customer journey. But then there's this kind of final third, which is this post-purchase experience. And most brands will give some lip service to this, but we don't spend as much attention or focus on it as it deserves. And part of the challenge is it's an issue of ownership. We own and control our advertising. We own and control what happens on our site. But once an order is shipped, typically we concede ownership of that experience to a third party, whether that's a carrier or a logistics partner, a fulfillment partner. And we just kind of accept that there's only so much that we control. And part of our mission at Route is to pass control back to the merchant and say, oh, no, 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 not only should you control this, but you can, and it's part of your overall brand experience. And so that's our mission, is helping merchants own the entire experience. And it's really critical. If you look at, and these are current statistics that are from a survey that we took this year. 57% of customers report that retailers at best are mediocre when it comes to that final mile, or the delivery of the package or the order after the order's been submitted by a customer. And if something goes wrong or right, that process of shipping, sexy as you may think it isn't, it has an impact on brand loyalty, and most customers universally agree that that's the case. And then I think the stat that's really kind of eye-opening for me is that if something goes wrong, if your package gets lost during shipment, if it is damaged during shipment, if it gets stolen off your porch after it's delivered, the brand is the one who is at blame in the eyes of the customer. And so if you take a big step back and you look at, the dynamics of what is happening in terms of what a customer expects, the real catalyst here is Amazon. They've set a standard for a post-purchase experience, and like it or not, we all have to live up to that standard. So we've all purchased stuff from Amazon, and we know that they're talking to us during that experience. We know that if something goes wrong, Amazon's going to make it right. And that, again, that standard's been set. And so today's discussion is about some specific keys to kind of meet that standard and really democratize that beyond the ecosystem of Amazon, so that you can deliver that same type of experience without sacrificing 30% of your soul to Jeff Bezos. And so I just want to go over some of those steps, and we'll walk through some examples of what these mean through the route product and through some other examples. So the first step is looking at post-purchase optimization as something that is more than just a customer service responsibility, and really making it part of your marketing mix and assigning it to those that have ownership of your brand and marketing as part of their remit. There's the idea of post-purchase messaging, and really nailing that, and looking at post-purchase messaging as an opportunity to carry on a conversation with your customers beyond just, hey, you've submitted an order, we know we got your order, and here's a tracking code. There's so much opportunity there to really engage with your customer, and it's a matter of taking advantage of that. And then part of that is making post-purchase part of your brand experience, taking it away from UPS or USPS, and making sure that you're delivering an experience that is continuous from awareness all the way through to the moment that package is delivered to your customer. And then there is the inevitable issue of what happens when things go wrong and you're trying to resolve them. And so this is one where route really takes center stage, and that is, when things go wrong, let's flip that into an opportunity to really surprise and delight your customers, and attach and build some loyalty to the brand. And then part of that is, what does this look like in terms of your overall e-commerce stack, in terms of what post-purchase solutions are available to you? All right, so back in 2012, partners started asking a survey question to consumer marketers. They asked them how important customer service will be as a competitive priority. And in 2012, 36% of respondents said that it will be the competitive priority for us. That's the only thing that we can compete on, or that's the thing that we will compete on. 4 years later, almost 90% of consumer marketers said that, oh no, this is the priority. And from that, in 2016, Gartner predicted that at least 50% of all investment that's dedicated to consumer products will be around customer experience innovation. And so we asked the question, did that bear out? And I think the answer is clearly yes. If you look at some of the brands that emerged over the last decade that really kind of were disruptive and embraced customer experience as a marketing endeavor, they've been some of the biggest success stories. And so they looked at innovation in terms of convenience, both in terms of what the product was and how the product was delivered. They looked at redefining what the shopper experience looked like, not just bricks and mortar versus e-commerce, but the entire shopper experience, including post-purchase. They're really good at laser focusing on customer targeting, knowing who their customers were and who their customers weren't. And what they earned was considerable and decisive loyalty and advocacy on behalf of their customers. One of the things that I think you'll notice is that they really embrace that first key that I've highlighted, which is making that post-purchase optimization part of a marketing assignment. So all of these kind of success stories looked at that moment of order, the order moment. And they said, hey, this is the moment where we've been talking to our customers, but the order moment is when they've decided to invest in our brand. And so let's really recognize that and make sure that we're not ignoring them, that we're really carrying on the conversation and using that moment of intention and interest to carry on that conversation. And so there's this window between order submission and delivery into the hands of your customer. We call that the interest window. And really, arguably, that is the most important phase of the customer journey, because there's never a moment where you will have greater interest and investment from your customers. And so what these brands have done is they've really owned and curated this anticipation experience. And success is born out. These are some of the, we're talking about brands that started off small and have either seen a valuation or have been acquired, at enormous figures. And one of the things that they've done is they're really focused on post-purchase messaging. So order confirmation messaging, when you compare all of the messages that you're sending to prospective customers or even past customers, your order confirmation emails get an open rate of 3 to 4 times that of any other message. And it should be more than just, hey, this is what you ordered. You've got a moment of interest where you can discuss, hey, this is what you ordered, this is what you should anticipate. You can make those messages really beautiful and brand oriented. These other brands that we reference, one of the things that they've done is they talk about, hey, this is what you should expect when you get it. This is how to use it. This is how our most successful customers that really love us, this is how they're using it. For fashion and apparel brands, this is how they're wearing it. It's really a valuable opportunity to bring in social and kind of influencer marketing to feature how they're wearing it and capitalize on that moment of anticipation. And then part of your post-order messaging is also around what happened after you got it. Tell us. We want to know. We were not just hoping that you loved it. We want to hear if you loved it. And even if they didn't, the fact that you're asking and seeking an answer to that question builds trust and loyalty from those customers. And then there's this opportunity for order tracking. And this is one of those features that is typically conceded to other third parties, but can be owned and should be owned by the brand. So Route enables you to make that order tracking process visual, where your customers can see where your delivery is at any moment on time on a visual map, providing them step-by-step progress of where the order is. And then using that visual tracking feature, whether it's delivered through an app or whether it's delivered through an HTML email experience, using that as an opportunity to reinforce your brand. So I wanted to talk about that track feature as an example of how important that can be and how it can be used to reinforce your brand. So through Route, a customer orders a product from your site. You can see that we're really reinforcing not just the visual opportunity of the brand, but the visual nature of your products. And then we give them the option to track this either through the Route app, or they can track through HTML workflow delivered through email. And then they sign in. If they sign in through the app, again, they can see this tracked in real time across the progress of where the item is being shipped from, and to the moment that it's delivered to their door. And you'll notice that this is, we have a patent on visual tracking, and Amazon has evolved this as well. They're providing a similar kind of progress report in terms of where your product is, even going so far as to have their final mile delivery partners take pictures of that and flow that into customer messaging. And then it's not just about email. The Route app also enables text messaging, which has proven to be more favorable and desired by your customers. And so taking advantage of text messaging is really key as well. Now, while we are able to flow your customers through the Route app, if you choose, not all customers want that, and so we're also able to deliver the same kind of tracking messaging through an email workflow as well. The key to these emails is, and this is, I think, one of the more underserved and underestimated opportunities for brands, is using order confirmation emails as a really significant brand opportunity. And so that's one of the things we really attempt to do both through the app and through our email confirmation pages, is bring the brand experience into those confirmation messages. All right. Third key, make post-purchase part of your brand experience. Again, those order confirmation emails are a big part of that. One of the things that is really key to notice is that content it's one of the most highly engaged experiences throughout the entire customer journey. So we know that customers visit the Route app and they visit your brand page that's featured on the Route app an average of 7 times per order. If you use the Route app, that's 2 to 3 times more than just traditional web tracking. So again, this is a kind of a rare and unique opportunity to bring your brand into the post-purchase experience and make sure that the brand has consistency and continuity, and you're not passing those opportunities off to a third party. All right, step 4, and this is the one that DERRIC gets really excited about. It's something that I'm excited about because it's an opportunity to not just convert problems and resolution experiences into a surprise and delight experience, but it's also an opportunity to make and save money. So this becomes really key, especially since the pandemic ensued. We've been tracking stats since the pandemic in February. There's been a 20% increase in damaged packages because of disruptions and issues related to shipping, 131% increase in stolen packages. Port piracy continues to grow. And part of that should be expected because e-commerce and delivery has increased exponentially because of the pandemic. But because of these kind of first 2 issues, the expectation and the desire for customers to be able to track with a higher degree of fidelity their orders has increased more than 200%. And so what Route offers and it's actually a really good segue from what Xavier was discussing, is we offer a world-class shipping protection product that is deployed at checkout. So similar to what travel airlines and travel vendors have been providing for several years, is we allow merchants to offer premium shipping protection at the moment of checkout, and it becomes an opt-in for your customers. So they opt in for a small percentage of their order value, and what is essentially a micro insurance premium protects them from loss, damage, or theft. That order, once it's submitted, it is instantly approved. We have a partnership with Lloyd's of London, and that order is protected and backed by both Route and Lloyd's of London. And what that means is that any issue with order loss, damage, or theft is protected by us, meaning that we will pay for it. Not only will we pay for it and cover the refund, we'll actually try to pursue a reorder. And so the merchant, you will get double credit for the initial order, and you'll get credit for a reorder. So you're actually making incremental revenue if something does happen and we're successfully able to offer a reorder on behalf of the customer. The really nice thing is, while shipping insurance that's not a new capability, but those that typically offer it, usually the carriers, they're in the business of applying some friction, like all insurance carriers tend to do, so that they can avoid their exposure to claims. We're in the business of being more generous with claims, because we look at this as an opportunity, again, to really flip customer claims into a successful customer experience. And so we enable one-click claims. If something goes wrong, your customer can either go via their email or more conveniently through the Route app, and just one-click submit a claim, and we will process the refund or process a reorder. And then, of course, the visual tracking for all shipments reinforces the shipping protection product, where as they go through and they observe and consistently check on the process of their order, they can submit claims through this experience, which delivers really a seamless post-purchase experience. DERRIC alluded to the costs, and this is really what he and I have both teased. We cover the costs across all types of claims. For merchants, we also, and this is something that you'll learn more if you talk to us, we will share in the commission that comes from those insurance premiums. So you not only are we covering the cost of claims, but the money that is made through those micro insurance premiums, we'll pass that through. A portion of that we will pass through to the merchant. In terms of deployment, there's a variety of ways that we can deploy this. Most merchants that we've worked with, and we've got more than 4,000 merchants in our system now, they typically opt to do this at checkout, similar to what Xavier was walking through in terms of different options for insurance at checkout, where the customer can opt in, and they're the ones that will cover the cost. Again, the service is free to merchants. We do have some merchants that elect to cover this as part of their coverage costs, and they will bundle that into to their overhead, whether it's part of their shipping overhead or however that's accounted for, and they will cover the cost for all of their orders. And that's a premium offering that they've done the math, and they know that if they do that, the experience and the gains on customer service in terms of reducing customer service costs and building brand loyalty and retention is more than worth the nominal cost of protecting these orders. So 2 deployment options are available. And then finally, looking at this as part of your overall stack. It's not, post-purchase experience is not just about order tracking and shipping. It really should sit within a stack that belongs to your post-purchase experience. And so there's a lot of things that that should be considered in terms of the totality of a customer journey. But key 5 is really paying attention to all of the things that can enable brand engagement, messaging, the economics around fulfillment and logistics, both in terms of saving you money, but also reducing customer service costs and inspiring loyalty. And then returns, that's something that I think is really interesting, is another key that's available in terms of democratizing what Amazon's done, and using providers like Returnly. There's another one called Dawdle that I'm really interested in, that allows you to return shipments to physical locations, much like Amazon's been doing. And so again, these 5 key steps. Post-purchase optimization should be part of marketing, really addressing your messaging endeavors as part of kind of a marketing assignment, bringing the brand into post-purchase engagement, using a solution like Route to turn problems into surprise and delight experiences, which has a number of benefits, makes you money, saves you money, and really inspires loyalty and retention. And then talking to someone like DERRIC and really looking at your e-commerce stack specific to post-purchase solutions that are available. So this is what we do. We help you own the post-purchase experience. In terms of an offer for those that are attending today, if you visit this website, DERRIC will get credit, route.com/e-commerce tech. We will give you $100 if you go through that demo and try Route out on your checkout page for at least 7 days. If you have questions, feel free to email me, Rich@Route. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And it's been a really just a pleasure to share this with you today, and appreciate the endorsement from DERRIC as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. And yeah, what can I say? You kind of proved the case for the tool in the presentation. And I think this was actually a really great way to round out what we've been working on all day, because nobody actually talked about what happens after the first purchase and how to really fine tune that delivery experience. And I think that this was, it's a crucial part of the value chain. We're adding value every step of the way. You could argue that the ad at the start of the customer journey is some form of a value add. You're getting content that you're enjoying, or you're seeing a product that you have intrigue in. And then, so every step of the way, whether they're paying us money or not, we're bringing them value in different ways. Bringing the customers value in different ways. And so this experience and the ability to offer this and see that people are choosing to purchase shipping insurance kind of validates that it's a product that honestly needs to be offered on your site. It's, millions of consumers want this product and you aren't offering it, and there's one tool that can just add it in immediately. So I do recommend everyone to check out Route, and thank you so much for your presentation.